All right, then let's dive right into our first topic of the night, Flagstaff baseball. The Eagles are 5 games into the season and have an overall record of 3-2 and are preparing to go into conference play. What can we expect from the Eagles as the season progresses, Johnny?
Well, Sadie, after starting off their season 0-2, the Eagles have started to find a groove, as they are now winners of 3 straight games. After inconsistencies on offense, in which they collectively batted .115 as a team through their first 2 games, they have since collectively batted .297 in their wins against Tempe, Glendale, and conference opponent Bradshaw Mountain, led by senior outfielder Derek Williamson and sophomore third baseman and pitcher Silas Clary. Williamson and Clary are both hitting .333 through the early part of the season, with Williamson collecting 5 hits and 3 RBI, and Clary collecting 4 hits and 1 RBI. Clary has also pitched this season, logging 3 1/3 innings with 3 strikeouts. He also picked up the win against Tempe last Friday. The pitching for the Eagles has also been steadily improving. While pitching to a 14 and 5.83 ERA in their games against Westwood and Glendale, this has inflated their team ERA overall, which stands at 4.38, as they have pitched to a sub-250 ERA in their other 3 games. While the hitting and pitching have been solid, the fielding for this Eagles squad could improve. Through their 5 games, they have committed 11 errors, including 5 in their 12-0 loss to Westwood to start off their season. Should this Eagles team clean up their glove work and combine that with their hitting and pitching, this team could become a force as conference play picks up.
The Eagles also played Thursday, but we do not have those stats. But Johnny, it looks like if the offense stays strong and the pitching becomes more consistent, the Eagles have a good chance of bouncing back this season and bringing home some more wins. Next up is the dominant Coconino Panthers softball team. The Panthers seem to be off to a great start as they sit undefeated with a record of 4-0. So Johnny, what can you talk about regarding the key players and the work this team has put in so far?
That is a good question, Sadie. The Panthers have been playing fantastic in all aspects of the game. Offensively, they have been explosive so far this season, with the team collectively batting .409 with a .479 on base percentage. Those numbers are due in large part to their 10-0 and 25-1 doubleheader sweep against Lee Williams. This team is also very speedy on the base paths, with 18 stolen bases so far this season. This electric combination has been led by junior shortstop Brooklyn Wong and senior outfielder Ashley Hernandez. Wong is batting .571 with a .625 on base percentage, and with that has 8 hits on the season. Additionally, Wong has been a fierce runner on the base paths. While she had 14 steals in 32 games last season, she so far has 10 steals through only 4 games this year. Wong isn't the only one doing damage for the Panthers, as Hernandez is batting .562 with 9 hits and 10 RBI. While the Panthers' offense has been hitting to all sides of the field, their pitching and fielding has also been on point so far this season. The pitching has been shutting down opponents. Through 4 games, Panthers pitchers have collectively struck out 45 batters and only given up 1 home run. The Panthers' fielding has been clean so far as well, as they have been committing only 6 errors on the season. With great hitting, pitching, and fielding, the Panthers have been a force to be reckoned with, and should these trends continue, this team could have a phenomenal season.
You were absolutely correct, Johnny. This team, led by Coach Kimberly Davis, certainly seems to take on the season with a different attitude, as the team finished last season with a record of 18-14, and they also have multiple returning starters. The Panthers are in St. George, Utah this weekend for a tournament. They played the Union Cougars this morning at 9 a.m., but we do not have those statistics. Moving from high school sports, let's transition to some college basketball. First up, we are going to be talking about the NAU women's basketball team. Johnny, about the women's basketball team. They're getting ready to play Northern Colorado, a team they previously lost to earlier in the season, but the Lumberjacks are looking for a different outcome this matchup. What can you tell us about this improving team?
Well, Sadie, this team has won 2 games in a row against Montana and Montana State. 2 teams they previously lost to earlier in the year by margins of 10 points and 16 points respectively. The Lumberjacks turned it around and beat the 2 Montana teams by scores of 76-72 and 82-65 at the Walkup Skydome last weekend. Getting revenge on these teams with those 2 wins was possible due to multiple players, including Kaleigh Paplow, Jacey Bailey, and Reagan Schenck. Paplow is averaging over 15 points a game in her last 5 games as a Lumberjack, while averaging over 13 points a game overall on the season and shooting over 50% in their most recent win over the Grizzlies. Bailey also had a great game against Montana as she set a season high in points with 31. She also had a season high 12 rebounds in the Jacks win over Montana State last Saturday. Schenck has also had a great past 3 games, averaging almost 14 points a game, having over a 55% field goal percentage, and averaging over 30 minutes in all 3 contests. She has been a key offensive asset both in the paint and beyond the arc for this team, and it has shown immensely. These 3 players will need to continue their excellent gameplay. While the Lumberjacks' record at home sits at 6-6, their road record is 5-10. If this team steps up under pressure and performs like they can go into the Big Sky Conference tournament with a 3-game win streak and a better seeding position than they are in currently.
It's been a roller coaster of a season, starting strong, then struggling for much of the regular season. But it's almost like a fire was lit under this team, and they are playing the way we all knew they could. With 1 game left in the season, the Jacks need this win against Northern Colorado tomorrow afternoon. Keeping on the topic of college basketball, on the men's side, NAU Basketball has been seeing better gameplay this year with the help from some of the underclassmen. Johnny, what can you tell me about this young and developing team?
Well, Sadie, NAU men's basketball has shown glimpses of great gameplay in a relatively inconsistent season overall. When they've gotten wins, NAU's Bernie Andre, Carlos Hines, Cameron Shelton, and Luke Avdalovic are a significant part to their success. Sophomores Andre and Hines have shown to be the most reliable and durable players on the team this season, as each is averaging over 27 minutes a game. Both have also been consistent offensive threats. Andre has been a rebounding machine, averaging more than 12 rebounds over his last 6 games, and averaging over 8 on the season overall. Andre has also been a dangerous offensive threat in the paint, having a 45% field goal percentage on the season and averaging almost 14 points per game. Hines has also been a scoring threat, averaging more than 17 points a game over that stretch, including a career-high 32 points in NAU's recent loss to Eastern Washington. Overall, Hines has averaged almost 13 points a game on the season and has started 21 games. Those numbers are a massive improvement over last season, when Hines did not start a game and averaged just under 4 points per game. NAU has also gotten pleasant surprises from freshman Cameron Shelton and redshirt freshman Luke Avdalovic. Shelton has been on a hot streak since mid-February, averaging over 12 points a game in that stretch with a field goal percentage of over 40%. Avdalovic has perhaps been the most explosive player on offense this season. Since winning a starting job in mid-December, Avdalovic has shown stretches of great basketball and has proven to be a lethal threat beyond the arc, shooting over 50% from downtown on the season and over 60% in games in March so far. Together, this Big Four gives this Lumberjack squad a great chance to win 10 or more games for the first time since the 2014-2015 season. Should these 4 shine in the clutch, and should NAU's defense come up big, this team can be looking to be both a sleeper and have a chance to play spoiler in the upcoming Big Sky Championship starting this upcoming Wednesday.